Stadium here in Kansas City. As you know by now, we will not start on time, but as you can see, we are getting very close to first pitch time. They have estimated our first pitch at 6:30, so need just about a half an hour to get the field ready. They still need to get the lines down. Pitchers need to warm up, but the good news is the rain has passed through, and keep our fingers crossed, we should be good to go now for the rest of the night. Indians and Royals coming up at 6:30. Until then, though, we want to update you. Asdrubal Cabrera not in the starting lineup, but he is testing his injured left knee in the outfield as we speak. Cabrera fouling a ball off the top of his left knee yesterday in the ballgame. Stayed in, hit a home run during that same at bat, and then during the next half inning while he was in the field, decided he had to come out of the ballgame. Just couldn't get it going. But right now he's out there running, testing that knee. And Rick, you wonder, is he testing that knee to see if he could still get in the lineup for tonight, or just to see if maybe he could be available tonight?
I'm thinking right now that he's probably trying to break up any adhesions that are in there, but maybe by tomorrow. I think he'd be pushing it a little early to try and get him in there tonight, but you never know around here. I mean, the kid could probably use an off day. Unfortunately, it's going to come at the expense of an injury or a foul ball off his knee, but that's a promising sign right there to see him out there at least running tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good, looks pretty free and easy. Obviously, he's got to be a little sore still after what happened last night, but that is a great sign for the Indians with Cabrera running in the outfield. And again, there is a lot of optimism before the game that he would be in the lineup tomorrow. And now watching him run out there here this evening, I would say that real good chance we'll see him in the lineup tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I would think so. That's a good sign.
The other good news, we're going to play baseball. 6:30, our scheduled first pitch time. So we're going to send you back to the studio for now. Jimmy Hanlon will entertain you with Tee It Up Ohio. And we'll be back at the bottom of the hour with our first pitch between the Cleveland Indians and the Kansas City Royals. Tigers are losing at home. They're in the 8th inning, and now Detroit has just gone to a rain delay in the Motor City with the White Sox beating the Tigers 8-5 in the 8th inning. We'll see you bottom of the hour. Take a look at Maniac's starting lineup, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Ezekiel Carrera in the leadoff spot, Kosuke Fukudome batting second. Then it's Carlos Santana, Jim Thome, Jack Hanahan, Jason Donald, Lonnie Chisenhall, Cord Phelps, and Jared Head. Luke Hochevar, 9 wins, 10 losses on the year. The right-hander's first pitch in there for a strike to Carrera.
Hochevar making his 29th start this year. That's a team-leading 29th start.
Evens the count of 1-1.
And his third start against the Indians this year, both of them coming back in April.
And a flare toward right, dropping in front of Jeff Francoeur. Ezekiel Carrera with a leadoff single.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot Kansas City Royals defensive lineup tonight. It's Gordon in left, Cabrera in center, Francoeur is in right. Moustakas at third, Getz at short, Gio Vitella is at second, Hosmer is at first with Perez behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot. There's the numbers on Luke Hochevar, 9-10 on the year. 177 in the third innings, 108 strikeouts. He was their first ever overall selection in 2006.
Fukudome takes a strike. He was 3 for 5 last night. 3 singles, and he scored 2 runs. And that batting average up to 291 now. And he misses 1-1. 76 degrees, our game time temperature.
Well, the first week, a little slow for Fukudome, but I'll tell you what, he has settled in and he's played very, very well for Maniacta.
Missed down low with it.
At 76 degrees,
a little humid.
Once that front moved through, though, it cooled it off. And I mean, it did rain here for a while this afternoon. Thunder and lightning.
Well, they're getting it now in Detroit. There's a strike, 2-2. Tigers trailing Chicago 8-5. They were batting in the bottom of the 8th when the rains came in Detroit and the tarps came out. They're still in a rain delay. We'll keep you updated on that score. Carrera drawing a throw over at first. Gets away. And Carrera off to the races. He's around second. He's going to dig for 3, and he'll go in easily. A 2-base throwing error by Luke Hochevar.
Yeah, once that ball gets by Hosmer at first base, it's easy 2-base territory. It ricocheted, it looked like off the tarp. Let's watch where the throw was. It was right there in front of the runner. Hosmer couldn't do anything as far as getting his glove down. And Cabrera easily goes to third base. And now the Indians with a chance to take an early lead.
That ball looked like, Rick, it went right under Carrera's armpit. Came that close to drilling him. But it went through that tiny opening. And the Indians catch a huge break. Now Fukudome can bring him in. And the 2-2 pitch. Squibs it foul. Now the 2-2. And he strikes out Fukudome.
Well, Luke Hochevar in his last time against the Indians, he was throwing an unbelievable game until he had 2 balks in an inning. That one moved the guy to second, another one to score him, and he basically fell apart. He was on a roll where he had retired 31 consecutive batters. The game before he started against the Indians, it was against Seattle. He retired 16 Mariners, and then he came out of the chute and retired the first 15 Indians, and then everything broke loose and fell apart for him after that point.
Here is Carlos Santana trying to give the Indians the early lead now. And a swing and a miss. Takes a strike. It's 0-2. Jim Thome waiting on deck. Santana last night 1 for 3 with a double.
Well, that double was a first inning 2-out hit to get him rolling.
And the 0-2 pitch. Santana with a fly ball to left. Gordon has a great throwing arm. Carrera will tag.
Not that great.
Gordon will not be able to throw him out, and the Indians take a 1-0 lead. Santana with RBI number 68 on the year.
You know, as a hitter, I think sometimes you probably will feel a little more pressure to get that ball to the outfield and deep because of the throwing arms in this outfield. Every guy at their position from left, center to right throws very well. And that guy that just threw that ball in leads the league in assists with 20.
And Jim Thome looks at a ball outside. Thome a 2-out RBI hit last night in the first. And takes a strike. Tops it foul. And now Jim down to the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. .301 career average for Thome against the Royals. 644 at bats. 49 homers, 139 runs batted in. Up high, 2-2. Down in the dirt, full count. Jack Hanahan waiting on deck. Ned Yost has seen his team fall behind in the first for the second night in a row in the series. Thome strikes out, and the Royals will come to bat with the Tribe on top 1-0. in Toledo. Dad, a former Indians usher. Back in the 40s, huh? Wow. All right, here are the Royals tonight for Ned Yost, Alex Gordon, Melky Cabrera, and Billy Butler. Eric Hosmer, Jeff Francoeur, and Johnny Giavitello. Mike Moustakas, Salvador Perez, and Chris Geddes.
Well, David Huff, 6th start of the year for him. He is 2-2. Coming off a win against the Oakland A's. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, walked a couple, struck out 4. But remember, in his last start, it was 9 days apart from his start prior to that. So that first time through the lineup, his fastball was upstairs. He was able to get it down the second time and settle in. So he should be better off right out of the outset. Let's hope so against this lineup. It's a much better lineup than Oakland's.
Alex Gordon takes a strike. He was 1 for 4 last night with a monster home run to straightaway center field. One and one to count. Bounce to first. Jack Hanahan getting the start at first base tonight. Makes the play there for out number 1.
Let's take a look at the Indians defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. It's head and left, Carrera in center, Fukudomi is in right. Chisenhall gets the start at third tonight, Jason Donnell at short, Phelps is in second, Hanahan at first, and Carlos Santana back behind the plate.
Melky Cabrera looks at a strike. Switch hitting center fielder was 1 for 4 with a double last night. Broke his bat. That went flying into the seats. Cabrera aboard with a bloop single.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I followed the bat, and it did hit an empty seat and just ricocheted down. Thank goodness, because that bat almost exploded. The ball, it seemed like the bat went farther than the ball did. I mean, this one here, you can see it saws him off, and look what he's got left in his hand, nothing but a toothpick. But that bat really went flying into the seats. The ball goes to right field. It'll drop as a base hit. And the bat hits an empty seat, and everybody is okay.
Billy Butler steps in. Butler 1 for 3 last night. Vinny Pistano said after the game last night when he came in to face Billy Butler, he's like, man, it seems like every time we play Kansas City, I face Billy Butler. He said, I've thrown everything in the kitchen sink at him.
Well, that's how it matches up sometimes. When you play a team in your division, you are the setup guy. And you know you're into that 8th inning, and you got to go through maybe the toughest part of the order, which he had to go through last night. You know, in 07, it was Betancourt going through Detroit's lineup of Cabrera and guys like that, or Ordonez, where you do it 6, maybe 7 times a year.
Yeah, after a while, there are very few secrets left.
There aren't. I mean, you make adjustments, and that's, you know, that's the way it goes. And that's what makes, you know, when you're playing in your division that much more special. It's tough when you're playing a team 18 times a year.
David Huff with the 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. The changeup from Huff, and that evens the count of 2-2. Now the 2-2 offering. Fouled away. You could see, though, the effectiveness of Huff's changeup. And then with that fastball, Butler was a little late.
And I also want to see him. He's going to have to use everything he has. That curveball, too, that runs about 77 miles per hour. Yeah, you've got to pitch him inside, the right-handers.
In the air, right field. Routine for Fukudome. 2 down. Today's injury report brought to you by Elk and Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Alcides Escobar was injured last night late in the game when he went down the first baseline, and when he stretched to reach the bag, he landed on top of Carlos Santana's foot, which just happened to be on top of the first base bag.
Yeah.
He didn't look real good today. When he went out to take the team's picture, he hobbled from the dugout all the way to center field.
Well, I think Santana's lucky that.
Oh, really lucky.
I mean, that it was a light guy that came over. He didn't. I mean, his foot was right over the whole bag. When you see him stretch, he had no chance to land on the bag. Look at. You never see a first baseman with his foot over the bag like that. He had nothing but to. He's lucky he didn't get hurt, Santana. Escobar did.
Strike over the outside corner to Eric Hosmer. There is Escobar, who, like Asdrubal Cabrera, will have to wait and see if he's able to get in the starting lineup for the series finale tomorrow. Based solely on what we've seen with our own eyes, I would say yes for Cabrera and no for Escobar.
I was pleased with what we saw before the game. We came in and, at the top of the hour at 6. Cabrera was out in the outfield just testing it a little bit, and it looked promising. Let's put it that way.
The 0-2 pitch. Reached for it and bounces it past Chisenhall at third for a base hit.
Well, Hosmer, a nice job staying on that ball and hitting it the other way. Not an easy play when you're the third baseman with the bat coming off the left-hander. That pitch was upstairs. That's why it enabled him to go the other way. And it was on Chisenhall in a hurry and passed him before he knew it. So it'll go as a base hit now. 2-out base hit. It'll give Francoeur an opportunity.
Jeff Francoeur 1 for 4 with a double last night. Fouled back.
You know, that's the second one. That's right in Rosie's lap. They got one last night. It almost went into his iced tea. And it rolled out of the booth right in front of him. That's an error. I'm giving Rosie an error.
Thought he was going to climb out there on the deck and go after it.
He should. He's got to catch that ball right there. That was soft. That wasn't a hard line drive. And it's right into that. There's Rosie, Jim Rosenhaus. He's go ahead, look at the monitor.
Somebody's going after it.
No, someone's got it. The guy's next door. They should sign it and give it back to him. They're reaching over. There you go.
Give it to him.
I got to go in between.
Attaboy, Rosie. The 0-2 fouled back to the screen. 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the first. Tribe with a 1-0 lead. Two-strike breaking ball hit to right. Fukudome, long run. It's over his head. Royals are going to score 2 and take the lead. A 2-out, 2-run double for Jeff Francoeur. His 44th double. RBIs number 73 and 74 on the year.
Well, he hit that ball a long way. Fukudome was fooled. He started to break in, and that ball got over his head. Let's check it out on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. It's a breaking ball, which is a pretty darn good pitch away. Francoeur did a great job of staying with that ball and drove it. You see where Fukudome was a little fooled by that, maybe because that ball was so down in the strike zone. But it gets past them, and I'll tell you what, they scored 2 runs, so their second 2-out base hit, and they come back and take the lead.
Francoeur continues have a fantastic offensive season here for the Royals, not to mention what he's done defensively in right field with his throwing arm. Fouled right back. Johnny Giovitello was 0 for 4 last night. Up high with a fastball, 1-2. That's not exactly a good sign.
No, I saw him come sprinting in on that double, and I was a little curious as to what's going on.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. That ends the first, but Kansas City comes roaring back, and they lead it 2-1 after 1 inning. Mango Pineapple Real Fruit Smoothie has arrived by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers and by AT&T. Back here in Kansas City, ominous clouds overhead.
Well, just got word, Matt, that in about another 5 or 7 minutes here, it is going to really come in for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's supposed to be pretty hard, but then they should be clear the rest of the night.
Well, I see some folks heading already for the exits with umbrellas sprouting up, but I don't see any raindrops.
Well, if they
must be coming down.
It's going to come. It's going to come hard and fast and leave, and we should be good the rest of the night. So they may cover it. That's why that ground crew is back there.
Okie dokie. Get ready to batten down the hatches again.
That's right. It's coming.
Jack Hanahan went around. Third strikeout for Hoshaver. One down here in inning number 2. Our great clip of the game from last night, Jason Donald's first home run of the year, first since August of a year ago against Kansas City. And it was a long one, over 400 feet. Helping the Tribe to an early 5-0 lead. They held on to win it 5-4. Relax. You're at Great Clips. Donald also doubled last night, going 2 for 4. Now is this one out of play? And now the rain is really coming.
Yeah, it'll be here. Better start taking things in. Well, they're going to pull that tarp.
Here comes the tarp.
They know exactly what's going on. like they said, it should not last long. The ground crew is going to get their work in this afternoon or this evening. Tim Melke, the crew chief, who was at first base, just said something to Luke Hochshaver on his way back in. So all that report. It's a good thing it's happening tonight, not tomorrow.
So the rain falling, the grounds crew scrambling to try and get the tarp on the field as quickly as they can, because as Rick told you, rain is going to come fast and furious, so they can't dawdle. They've got to try to get that thing on as quickly as they can. And they are working
our
their
crew
tail
up
off
here
to
in the
do
booth is they're getting their reps in for these windows, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Grounds crews everywhere. So the field is covered, and we've got another delay here in Kansas City. But as you heard, the report is this should not last long, and we hope to be back to playing baseball without too lengthy a delay. But in the meantime, with Kansas City leading at 2-1 here in the second inning, we'll send you back to STO HQ for Tee It Up Ohio. And Jimmy Hanlon will keep you entertained until we're ready to go again here in Kansas City.
I want to watch something. I want to learn from Jimmy right now.
Stay tuned.
fact.
He wants to be an everyday second baseman, which he was for the most part until they called up Johnny Giavotella. Ned Yost really believes Getz can be that guy. Said, he's not a guy when he's not playing, sits at the end of the bench and daydreams. He's into every pitch. But as you said, Rick, it comes to accepting that as being your role, and you have to buy into it as a player.
You certainly do.
O'Shaver with a slide step. Chisenhall with a liner to center, and it hangs up for Melky Cabrera for out number 2. Tonight's Powerade Ion 4 rankings. And that Royals outfield with 45 assists.
It's not even close. They're in a different league. I mean, the Orioles are usually always right there. They have 30, the Tigers 33, but the Royals are by far superior.
2 down with a runner at first, Cord Phelps. Phelps 0 for 2 last night. 0 for his last 22 overall.
I find it almost half of their assists, 22 of the 45 for the outfielders, have come in the first game of a series, which says that half of them, you try and get out there, you think you're going to take an extra base, and boy, they put an end to it in a hurry.
Phelps fouls that off his foot. Donald at first with 2 down. And pitch misses up high. 3-1. Right-handed hitting Jared Head in the on-deck circle. Three-1 fouled away. Donald will take off now on a 3-2 pitch. Donald moves. 3-2, strike 3 called. 2 more Ks for O'Shaver. 2-1 Kansas City, middle of the second. Kansas City, bottom of the second inning, bottom third of the Royals order coming up here. Mike Moustakas, Salvador Perez, and Chris Getz due up against Indians lefty David Huff. Indians begin the day 3 games over the 500 mark at 69 and 66. Those 69 wins equal their win total from last year.
Right.
Ball 1 down low.
Well, the difference he has missed, when he's missed, it's been downstairs tonight. Even that ball Frank Coor hit for the base hit, man, that curveball down and away, I thought that was a good pitch. I mean, Frank Coor, you got to tip your cap. He hit a really good pitch.
That's a slicing out of play.
I mean, it was a backdoor breaking ball. Looked like it was off the plate, and this guy just stayed on it. So now if he can hit that pitch, it tells me that you better bust him inside and keep from going out there, because that was a good pitch.
Couldn't get him to chase there. And it's 3-1. Mike Moustakas had his 15-game hitting streak snapped in the ball game last night. And fouls this back out of play, full count. Out of play. It stays 3-2.
You know, the Royals, they only have a few home games left. So as the Indians were just coming to Kansas City before heading home, just a 3-day trip. Well, Kansas City was just coming home to play Cleveland. Then they go out west. They got 3 with Oakland and 4 with Seattle.
This should be playable. Chisenhall.
Okay, you're okay.
He's got it, 1 down. Let's go back to the studios. Al Pawlowski has the details on that White Sox-Tigers game. All you can say to that is wow. That drops Chicago back to 500 at 68 and 68. They've lost 3 straight. 1-1 to count for Salvador Perez. Bounce to short. Donald has it go between the wickets. And the error gives Kansas City a 1-out base runner.
Well, just a play that ball jumps up, and it looked like it caught him on the heel of the glove. So Jason doesn't hold on to it. It'll go as an error. And now Kansas City will have a 1-out base runner.
And Chris Getz, the number 9 hitter, takes a look at a first pitch strike. Now each shortstop with an error here in the second. Huff delivers and Getz fouls it back out of play. One out base runner at first for Kansas City. And the 0-2 is way up high. Now Boston returned the favor to Texas today after they got blown out by the Rangers last night. Red Sox came back and did it today to Texas. Bounced in the hole, base hit. Perez going to try to go to third, and he will.
You know, not bad base running there by a catcher, where he had to wait and let the ball get past him. Now, rule of thumb is if that ball, you know, goes in front of you, it's going to be tough to get to first base. I mean, he just got the bat head out. He had to wait for the ball. Now he's going to go ahead and go to third base. It wasn't hit that hard, so that might have been the deciding factor. But he gets into third base, and they first and third him now, so the error not looking too good.
And Alex Gordon, now the batter, he grounded out to first his first time up. Broken bat again. Cord Phelps gets one at second. The return throw not nearly in time. And the Royals now lead it 3-1. Gordon picks up RBI number 75.
Well, the barrel head of the bat went flying toward the ball, but Phelps gets it over. That just wasn't hit hard enough, and they're not going to turn the double play as Gordon beats it out to drive in his 75th run. So that error hurt the Indians. They come back and that scores. Santana was going to throw behind the runner and then lost the handle.
The 1-0 is a called strike. He had Gordon moving towards second base. And a strike over the outside part of the plate, 1-1. By the way, even though Boston beat up on Texas today, the Yankees also won, so New York stays a half game in front of the Red Sox in the AL East.
That's just a battle of who's going to win that division, who's going to win the wild card.
Fouled away.
It's basically the same way over in the National League like that as well.
Well, with the Rangers losing, an opportunity for the Angels to close the gap on Texas in the AL West. They beat Minnesota tonight. They're just 3.5 in back of Texas. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, a runner at first here in the second inning. Huff delivers, and Cabrera pops it up foul ground. Hanahan makes the grab. Kansas City tacks on a run through 2. It's KC 3, Cleveland 1. Back here, top of the third. I want to remind you to stay tuned later in the game to see our Miller taste great in this moment. Kansas City. Jared Head will lead off for the Tribe here. And takes a strike. Jared Head 1 for 16. Since getting the call up. One and one to count. Ezekiel Carrera and Kosuke Fukudome also due for the Indians here in the third. Well, Tapper hit towards second, slowly hit. Giavatello throws it out, one away. Time now for our AT&T trivia question tonight. Who was the last active player that once played for the Kansas City Athletics? Stay tuned and we'll have the answer coming up later in the game. Carrera takes a strike. He had a base hit. Went first to third on an error, throwing error by the pitcher, Luke Hoshaver, and came home on a sac fly in the first for the Indians' only run. Fly ball, pretty well hit the center. Back goes Melky Cabrera, still going back. And he brings it in for out number 2.
Well, it's a Central Division showdown when the Indians face the Detroit Tigers. That'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday after we get done with tomorrow's ball game here. 3 days of exciting baseball, great family entertainment. You don't want to miss out on Wednesday's game, as Indians ace Justin Masterson will take on the Cy Young candidate Justin Verlander at noon. Get your tickets at Indians.com.
Kosuke Fukudome struck out his first time up. And looks at a strike. One and one to count. He takes, and the count is 1-2. Right-hander, what was that?
Quick pitch. Came at him with something different. You know, he shortened up that delivery, didn't he? That's the only thing I can think of. Look, he tried to run at him and get one out there. I haven't seen it before.
That was a little odd.
It was weird.
Three-two pitch. Breaking ball hit the other way. Gordon over near the line makes the catch. Hoshaver's retired 5 in a row. Middle of the third. It's 3-1 Kansas City. back here in Kansas City, where the Indians trail the Royals now 3-1. Billy Butler, Eric Hosmer, Jeff Francoeur. 2-0. Butler on a 3-0 pitch. It's a little flare to right, but Fukunome has that for out number 1.
Well, Jim Thome back in Cleveland, and now you can take advantage of a special Thome coming. The ticket offer for all remaining regular season home games. You get a lower reserve ticket plus $10 to spend on food or merchandise, all for just $25. Get your tickets at Indians.com. You know, when you get a 3-0 pitch and you take a swing at it, you certainly don't push it off to right field. You've got to swing it, and you've got to swing it with authority. Or why not just take the pitch and try and get on base? I mean, doesn't it make any sense? If you're going to swing and then you're going to get jammed like he's going to push it off the other way?
No.
You can't do that. I mean, if you're going to go up there and swing at a 3-0 pitch, swing at it and try and hit that ball out of the ballpark. He's waited on that ball and hits a bloop to right field. And nowadays, I mean, managers let guys swing the bat 3-0. That never used to be like that. You could count on one hand how many guys would get the opportunity to swing a bat at 3-0 pitches. And it was just your superstars, but now they let guys swing it more, so somebody's got to teach them. They better swing it.
Jared Head pulls in the fly ball off the bat of Eric Hosmer for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Jeff Francoeur. Grounded to short. And Jason Donald. Low throw. What a backhanded pick by Jack Hanahan. And that ends the 3rd inning. Royals go 1-2-3 for the first time tonight, but they lead it 3-1. Fourth inning, 3-1 Kansas City. Carlos Santana, Jim Thome, Jack Hanahan due up for the Indians. Santana hits a high pop to center. And Melky Cabrera pulls it in. 1 down. Luke Hochevar has lost 3 straight to the Indians, but tonight pretty sharp here. A couple of strikeouts in the first inning and then 2 more in the second.
All coming on sliders. That pitch down and in that he's getting the swing over. That one was a 3-2 to Phelps. That just locked him up. But the other ones, he had the 2 down and in, swinging over, almost like that back foot slider.
And Jim Thome takes a look. 1 ball, 1 strike. Threw it by him there, and it's 1-2. And Thome's out looking. Strikes out for the second time tonight. 2 down in the 4th. Our minor league report tonight brought to you by Kia. Chun Chen, the catcher down at AA Akron, 2 for 4 with a double. Drove in a pair. Swinging a hot bat. He's had a nice minor league campaign. And Jack Hanahan struck out his first time up. 0 for 5 now in the series. One and 1 to count. Hanahan lines one toward left center field. That's in the gap. That'll split him. Cabrera able to cut it off. Jack hustling into second base with a 2-out double. That's his 14th 2-bagger on the year. And it gives the Indians a chance with a 2-out base hit here to cut into the Royals' lead.
There you go. He gets that sinker away. I mean, it looked like a changeup, but he stayed on it. I mean, that ball was off the dish on the outside part that he goes to left center field with. So for Hanahan, his 14th double.
And Jason Donald, who reached on an error his first time up, takes a strike.
Jason with an 8-game hitting streak on the line.
Two-strike offering. Hit out of play the other way. We're in the 4th inning. Tribe down 3-1. Perez out to talk things over with Hochevar. Donald turned on a ball last night and hit it over the Royals bullpen and left, but he's had some success taking the ball to the opposite field as well. And the 0-2 offering on the ground to second. Giavotella. High throw. Hosmer able to tag Donald to end the inning. Middle of the fourth, still 3-1 Royals. Johnny Giavotella leading off the home half of the fourth for Kansas City, fouls the first pitch off. Royals with 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Giavotella, Mike Moustakas, and Salvador Perez due up here in the home half of inning number 4. Two balls and a strike. A little bit too high, 3-1. Line to right. Fukudome is there. He'll make the catch. 1 down.
Well, the Tribe's in the hunt for a spot in the postseason, and you can register for a chance to purchase tickets for all potential playoff games at Progressive Field. You log on to Indians.com/postseason and enter for your opportunity to purchase single game tickets for the Division Series, ALCS, and the World Series. Winners will not be notified by email on will be notified by September 13th.
Mike Moustakas, who fouled out to third base his first time up. High pop right at home plate. Santana.
He doesn't see it.
I don't think he does. Now he does. Too late.
He did not see it. He was trying to tell those guys, I don't see it. And then at the last moment when it started to come down, he had a view of it, but it was too late. You know, and by Hanahan coming in from first and Chisenhall from third, watch Santana. See, Huff's pointing up, and Santana saying, I don't see it. And by the time he does, those guys on the corners just had too far to go. So it drops. It'll be a foul ball. I mean, what are you going to do? You don't see it. You can't catch what you can't see.
Big break for Mike Moustakas, though. 2-1 fly ball to left. 2 down. Going to bring up Salvador Perez, who reached on an error and scored in the second. Fouled right back.
Let's send out some birthday wishes. Ed Carlson turning 7 today from Port Clinton. Michael Pandy, 12 from Elyria. Marissa Pridemore is 10 years old from Wadsworth. Happy birthday to each and every one of you. And Peter and Sue Intihar celebrating their 60th anniversary from Brook Park, Ohio. Congratulations.
Two and 1 to count. Takes a strike, evens things up. Perez reached on an error by Jason Donald in the second, and then he was able to come around and score an unearned run. That's already the third unearned run scored against David Huff.
Well, remember when he first came up,
start.
You know, they made errors, and you know, he was part of that no-hitter. He started that game, and the defense left him a couple of times.
More rain falling here in Kansas City. Swung on and missed, and the Royals go in order again. So David Huff has now retired 8 in a row. Proud to fly the Cleveland Indians. And by Panini's. Like Panini's franchise group on Facebook for your chance to win giveaways and prizes. Lonnie Chisenhall, Cord Phelps, and Jared Head for the Indians here in the 5th. Chisenhall lined to center his first time up. And a big curveball misses high. Ball 1 from Luke Hoshaver. Finds the strike zone with that off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1. The scoreboard update brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers in the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. Ford, drive one. Bounced in the hole. Hosmer, long flip. Hoshaver is there to cover. One away here in inning number 5. That'll bring up Cord Phelps out on strikes his first time up. Happy 60th wedding anniversary wishes going out tonight to Ron and Lori and Dexler. And happy birthday wishes to Marilyn Johnston in Dill, West Virginia.
Well, how about Max Underwood sitting at home tonight? Max, happy birthday, big boy. I don't know if you're watching. Is he watching
He
tonight?
might be.
Well, if he is, happy birthday, pal. Me and you, I remember your birthday. You take care of mine. Don't tell your dad, though.
Something tells me he's a little happier about his birthday than you were for
he
yours.
should be. Something tells me he's a lot younger.
Popped into shallow right. Out goes Giavotella, but Frank Coor calls him off 2 down. OAC football is back on Sports Time Ohio tonight at 11:30. It's a local showdown between Case Western and John Carroll. Then Monday, after the Indians and Tigers 1 o'clock game, we'll replay the Baldwin-Wallace-Worcester matchup. Ohio Athletic Conference football all season long on Sports Time Ohio. Ohio State Buckeyes got off to a great start under their new head coach Luke Fickell today, dispatching the Akron Zips by a final score of 42-0. Now the line on the 1-0. Liner to first, and Hosmer couldn't handle it. It might have hit right through the webbing of his glove.
It broke his glove. He's going to have to get a new one. It came through the webbing. He was there, he went up, and it did. Look at him, he's got to tighten it up. It broke through the stringing there. How about that? That ball was hit right on the nose. I mean, he was there, but that thing eked out. He put a good swing on it. And there he jumps, and the thing got through his glove. How about that? Another 2-out hit for the Indians.
Oh, they charge him with an error, so they take the hit away from Jared Head.
Come on, how can that happen? And it broke his glove, for goodness sakes. I mean, seriously. I think Hank's the scorekeeper tonight.
I gotta believe they'll. I think they'll take another look at that, don't you?
Well, I think that should be changed. The guy was right there. He's a legitimate first baseman. I mean, when you get your glove on it and the ball goes through give the error to the glove, not to Hosmer.
Faulty leather.
Well, how often do you see that happen? I mean, it's a rare. I've seen balls get stuck in webbings before and things like that, and I have seen them go through it, but nothing like. I mean, this one actually went through. Look he's looking down at his glove as soon as that ball goes through.
Head takes off, swing and a miss. Throw down, he's in there safely. Jared Head with his first major league stolen base. And he's in the scoring position with 2 down now here in the 5th inning. And it's only a 3-1 ball game.
Well, I like the situation there. You see he had his hands on his knees, but he takes off. Able to steal a base. Now you get yourself in scoring position, although that outfield very shallow with Carrera hitting. You take a peek at him out there, and every one of them has very good arms, so he better work on getting that secondary lead.
Fouled off into the Royals dugout right over off the facing of that netting.
You know, that's been his pitch to the left-handers with 2 strikes, trying to get him to swing at that slider down and in. That's been his strikeout pitch tonight. You see how shallow the outfielders are. And every one of them with a very good throwing arm.
And a weak bouncer to second. Giavitello will flip it over. Hosmer made sure he caught that one. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Still 3-1 Kansas City. (3-1) our score. Kansas City on top. Bottom of the fifth inning. Bounced up the middle. Donald fires it over to get him. Our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Carlos Santana with a sac fly gave the Indians an early 1-0 lead, but Kansas City came right back. 2-out, 2-run double by Frank Gore in the first. They added a run in the second. And that's where we stand now with Kansas City batting in the bottom of the fifth. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Alex Gordon picked up the RBI in that second inning.
This kid has really had a breakout year. And I mean, when you think about it, remember he went down to the minor leagues. He was normally a third baseman. They sent him down with their minor league outfielder instructor, Rusty Kuntz, and got him to play outfield, left field. And boy, it freed him up. And offensively, he's been a different animal since coming back to the big leagues.
Absolutely.
I mean, what a great change that they made. He was always a very good athlete, but he just didn't pan out at third base, and now he's in left field, and he can become a good one.
Popped him in the air, left side, and into the seats.
I always think it's easier too if you make a change to go from infield to outfield to learn it, as opposed to going outfield to come on in and learn the infield. It's a little more difficult doing it that way.
Well, and again, he's been a good enough athlete that when you look at him in the outfield, you'd never know he wasn't an outfielder all along. You know, last night when Asdrubal Cabrera hit the home run, Gordon went back. He timed it. He made a good leap at the wall, and he said he felt it just tip off his glove. And he said, man, that's one thing I've wanted to do as an outfielder all year long, is go up and steal a home run away from somebody.
Yeah, once you become a good one, that's what you want. That's your goal.
He draws a one-out walk here in the 5th. This is another look at that play we're talking about. Watch Gordon.
This is the ultimate when you're an outfielder, is to make a play just like this, because you sit home and you dream about it. To bring a home run back, that's more exciting than hitting a home run. When you can make a play like that to rob a guy from a home run, and he did get leather on it. And there you look. He's made 2 errors this year. He has 20 assists. That's just a fantastic year. And remember now, this left field is probably a little tougher to play, but it's a little deeper.
Oh boy, this is hammered, but back is Carrera. He makes the catch in deep center field. And Gordon all the way back to first. Melky Cabrera hit that a long way, but it's a big outfield here in KC.
Yes, it is. It's a very spacious outfield.
And with 2 down, it'll give Billy Butler a chance. He's 0 for 2. Twice he's flied to right. And it's outside for ball 1. David Huff deals, and it's fouled back. The 1-1 pitch, way up high. David just over 80 pitches on the night. 54 out of his 83 tosses have been for strikes. Ripped foul. The walk to Gordon snapped a string of 9 in a row, retired by David Huff. And with 2 down, he's 1 strike away from getting out of the 5th inning. Runner goes. Throw down. And short hop toward Phelps. And Alex Gordon with his 15th stolen base on the year.
Well, Santana has a few problems back there when he does throw the baseball. A lot of times it's inaccurate. I mean, it wasn't a bad pitch to throw on, but this one short hops, and as Phelps got to come back up with it, you got to bring the glove back down to tag. So it short hops him, give Gordon the stolen base. That's number 15.
Billy Butler now with a 3-2 count. Socked to deep right. Fukudome over his head. Billy Butler's 36th double of the year gives him RBI number 80. And the Royals now lead it 4-1.
Well, these guys, they have some good opposite field power. Right here, Butler just goes the other way, and I mean, this ball short hops the wall. And he hits it a long way, gets it over the head of Fukudome. Both doubles going that way. Francoeur hit one over the head, and now Butler does. Makes it a 4-1 game.
Eric Hosmer 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored in the first. Big bouncer to first. Hanahan will go himself. And we'll go to the sixth. It's now Kansas City 4, Cleveland 1. Stop by any Cleveland area Subway restaurant to pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone for an upcoming home game. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. Kosuke Fukudome leading off the sixth for Cleveland, 0 for 2 tonight. Now 3 for 7 in the series. Four runs on 5 hits for the Royals, charged with 3 errors. 1 run on 2 hits for the Indians. They charged with 1, but I gotta believe they'll go back and review that error that was charged to Eric Hosmer and wind up giving Jared Head a hit.
Well, I mean, it didn't impact or have anything to do with the inning, even though we said right from the start it should have been a base hit to begin with. The ball sneaks through his glove like that, but you know, they got bigger fish to fry. They got to get some runs. You're going to look at it. This is the play where the ball actually goes right through the glove of Hosmer, and it did. It's squeaked through, but I guess they felt it was in the glove. He should have caught it.
2-2 just missed, full count. And ball 4, so the Indians get their leadoff man aboard here in the 6th. And if you remember, it was that 6th inning that was the undoing of Luke Hochevar back in that April start against the Indians when he had been perfect through the first 5.
Well, the Indians will battle the Tigers on Tuesday. All Upper Deck tickets are just $5. So stop by any Indians team shop or the Progressive Field box office. Take advantage of this deal. Or visit Indians.com and the password is Diamond. Yeah, you're right. He retired the first 15 batters he faced in that ball game back on the 20th.
One and 1 to count on Santana. Drove in the only run for the Indians in the first with a sac fly. Back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fukudome takes off, and Santana smokes it to deep center. Cabrera racing into the gap to make the catch. Well, third time through, you see the average jumps up.
Well, they are going through that third time right now.
And good location. Kept the fastball away. And Jim Thome swings through it. Thome went down swinging his first time up, looking back in the 4th.
Yeah, he
hold
did.
up, but he went around. 1-2 to count. You know, Jim Thome's been around a long time, seen a lot of things in baseball, but even he has to be wondering about the Indians and their snake-bitten ways here of late with all the injuries and guys in and out of the lineup just since he's been here himself. Strike 3 called. Two down. 6th strikeout for Hochevar.
He goes inside with a fastball after throwing. That's a good one. It came back on him a little bit. Had the corner of the plate, so he's down for the 3rd time tonight, and it's the 6th strikeout for Luke Hochevar.
Jim Thome, you can read his lips saying that ball was way in, and what his thoughts were as he told Mike DeMuro before heading off. Fukudome takes off. Strike is called, and the tag in time. We now go to the bottom of the 6th. It stays 4-1 Kansas City. the bottom of the 6th. Jeff Francoeur leading off, cuts and misses. Francoeur, Johnny Giavotella, and Mike Moustakas for KC. Royals on top 4-1. Bang foul, it's 0-2. Good wheels by Eddie Rodriguez to bounce out of the way down there at third base. Up high with it. Two and two. Activity now in the Indians bullpen. As Huff just over 90 pitches on the night. If you missed it earlier, Detroit came from behind to beat Chicago 9-8. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Francoeur. Third strikeout for Huff, and one down here in the 6th. All right, time now to check our AT&T trivia question and find out the answer. Last active player who once played for the Kansas City A's. I thought about this, Rick. How about Reggie Jackson? Played a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. I like that. I didn't think of it. Okay.
It's Josh Judy now warming in the Indians bullpen. There's a blast deep left field. Back his head, and it is gone. Home run number 2 for Johnny Giavotella on the year. And it's now a 5-1 Kansas City lead.
Well, this little guy hit it a long way in left center field. Head going back. Runs out of room, runs into the wall. And that thing gets over, and look, he just ran right in. He didn't know where he was. Landed right on his arm.
Mike Moustakas 0 for 2 on the night. 1-1 the count. Popped him up foul. And into the seats. Bounced it towards second. Cord Phelps flips it over, and that's out number 2.
Well, one more time before this year is out. You're going to have to come on out and get the fireworks. Final 2 fireworks presentations will be on the weekend. Last 2 opportunities Friday, September 23rd, Saturday, September 24th after the games against Minnesota. So get your tickets at Indians.com. The last 2 of the year.
Line to third, and a nice play by Lonnie Chisenhall to end the inning. But the little man, Johnny Giavotella, with a home run, makes it 5-1 Kansas City. Royals with a 5-1 lead. Luke Hoshaver has shut down the Indians on just 3 hits tonight. One was a leadoff single to start the game, and then a 2-out double by this guy, Jack Hanahan, in the 4th. The only other hit was a 2-out. You know, I beg your pardon. That was charged an error. I gave him a hit. It's a hit on my scorecard.
Oh, you haven't changed it?
But
I
the
got
official score ruled Jared Head's ball in the 5th inning an error. But David Huff has allowed 5 runs on 6 hits tonight. And so the Indians fighting uphill. Two and 1 to count.
You know, coming into today's ball game, Jack Hanahan had very good numbers against Luke Hoshaver. He was 5 for 8, and he's 1 for 2 today. So now 6 for 10. Also a couple home runs and 5 ribbies.
Big bouncer to second. 1 away. Our Miller Tastes Great in this moment takes us back to the year 2000 on this date. Kenny Lofton at the plate against Baltimore with a walk-off game winner. Redbird tells me in that game, Lofton stole 5 bases and scored 4 runs. Jason Donald pops it up. The shortstop gathers it in, 2 away. Well, Hoshaver is making it look easy here tonight. And Lonnie Chisenhall steps to the plate now, 0 for 2 on the evening. Chisenhall lined to center in the 2nd inning, bounced out to first base in the 5th. And it's in there for a strike. Popped out of play. Low and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hoshaver delivers. Chisenhall got a piece of that. Lonnie digs in once again. And Hoshaver taking a long look in. A little bit low. They're underway in San Francisco, where the Giants are hosting the D-backs in another big game in that NL West race. Chisenhall lifts a fly ball deep left center. I don't know if they're going to get to this one, and they won't. Short hops the wall, and Lonnie Chisenhall into second base with a 2-out double here in the 7th.
He tried to throw that breaking ball out over the plate and come in the back door, and Lonnie wouldn't let him do it. Boy, he smoked that ball. He tried to fool him that time, and he was all over it. Good job of hitting. That'll be the 3rd hit and the 2nd double for the Indians as he short hops the wall out there off the warning track.
Royals bullpen just now starting to spring into action. Hoshaver just over 100 pitches on the night. And Cord Phelps a routine roller to short. And what a play by Hosmer. He stretched wide right and made a great pick to save another error from Chris Getz. And we reach the 7th inning stretch, courtesy of the Cleveland Clinic. Cleveland fans, time to get up and let's. Home of Sealy's Posturepedic mattress, made in Northeast Ohio. And by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. It's time to join the Hyundai movement. "5-1 Kansas City," and as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, the Indians make the call to the bullpen, brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. Josh Judy now coming on for the 4th time this year. He'll be facing Chris Getz, Alex Gordon, and Melky Cabrera. Fouled right back. Getz with a single in the 2nd inning. Outside, he missed. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rifled down the right field line, but pulls it foul. Lifts it in the air, fouled on the 3rd base side. Long run for Chisenhall. Over the shoulder, can't make the catch. Getz stays alive.
Yeah, long way to go. Look at that. That back to the infield. Tough play. Just couldn't catch up to it.
And the 1-2. In the air, right field. Fukudome pulls it down, one away. Sunday Strategy presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care returns Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Andre Knott, Doug Deacon, and Tony Grossi will get you ready for the Browns' home opener against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's Sunday Strategy Thursday night at 7 right here on STO. Josh Judy with the 0-1 down and in. Line up the middle. Gordon with his first hit of the night, second hit in the series. And we'll go back to the studios once again. Here's Al.
That doesn't look good for Minnesota.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Eric Hosmer and Mark Trumbo both have had fantastic rookie years.
There's another guy you got to throw into the fray now. This Nova kid out of New York, the pitcher,
has
a good 15 point. Wins. He's 15-4. He's won his last 11 ball games.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's the one that jumped up to become the second best pitcher on that staff, and he's a rookie. We're talking about the hitters, and both of them are very good players.
Another fly ball to the biggest part of the park for Melky Cabrera. 2 down. I think when it's all said and done, though, Trumbo's going to win it. That's 25 home runs.
Well, let me check out the ribbies too.
He's right there at the at the top in ribbies. He and Hosmer are 1-2 in a lot of those rookie hitting categories. And Hosmer's had a fantastic season as well.
Trumbo now has 77 runs batted in and 25 homers.
Yep. Billy Butler with an RBI double his last time up.
Yeah, you can pick either one. They're both very good players.
Probably both going to be around for a long time, I would imagine. I mean, neither one. Oh, that throw got away and nice. I thought Hanahan stopped it. Actually, it was Gordon who stopped it.
Yeah. He said, hold on a second. Diving back in, it was not a very good throw, as you can see coming back. He threw it behind him. That Hanahan went over and tackled him. He got him down for a 2-yard loss.
Runner goes up and in. Santana's throw is high. Gordon with his second steal of the night. Number 16 on the year.
Well, the second time he's been able to steal a base. And this throw is going to be a little high by Santana, so Gordon goes in. New career high now with 16 stolen bases.
Billy Butler, 16 homers on the year.
80 runs batted in and now 36 doubles. Now the 3-1 pitch. Back out of play. Full count. Josh Judy in his 4th stint this year with the Indians. 34th round pick of the Tribe back in 07. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Butler to end the inning. We go to the 8th. It remains 5-1 Kansas City.
Cast is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Eighth inning in Kansas City, and Jared Head leading off for the Indians, then Ezekiel Carrera and Kosuke Fukudome. Right back to the screen. It's 0-2 on the Indians left fielder. Up and in, low bridge. O'Shaver over 100 pitches on the night.
Well, that one, man, that's up and in. That's a little chin music right there. You look away, and then all of a sudden, uh-oh, man, that's coming in. Buzzing the light tower.
And a breaking ball popped in the air to center. Melky Cabrera puts it away, 1 down. The Gathering Place supports, educates, and empowers individuals and families touched by cancer. Each time the Indians hit a homer, Rick and I are donating $5 each to the Gathering Place, while Great Clips will donate $50. Our total this season, $7,540. For more information, visit touchedbycancer.org. Great needs, great deeds, great clips. Ezekiel Carrera 1 for 3. Singled and scored the only run of this game for the Indians back in the first. Bunts it foul. 2-2. You know, you watch him bunt, and of course we have the best seat in the house to watch the hitters from the batter's box, and he never gets his bat head out in front of the plate. It's no wonder why so often when he tries to bunt for a hit, the ball goes foul.
Well, when you do try and bunt for a hit, and you're going to do it early in the count, you either try to make that perfect bunt or bunt it foul. But what you're saying is absolutely right. You know, and a lot of times because he has his hands down there, you can move up in the box if you have a feeling you may want to bunt, and that'll you know, if you're up on the plate, make it a little easier for you to get that bat out in fair territory.
Strikes him out. 2 down. Seven strikeouts now for Luke Hochevar. The Lexus Berea Report returns to STO Wednesday nights at 9. Andre Knott, Tony Grossi, Doug Deacon will provide updates from Berea on the Browns' prep for their home opener against Cincinnati. The Lexus Berea Report Wednesday night at 9 right here on STO. Kosuke Fukudome 0 for 2 with a walk. Came in with a 5-game hitting streak. And takes a strike there to even the count. Down to the count 1-2. Bob McClure watching Luke Hochevar attempt to finish the 8th inning with his 116th pitch of the night. Royal manager Ned Yost has to be happy with the way the right-hander has pitched here this evening.
Yeah, he certainly does. Trying to stop a 3-game losing streak to the Tribe.
And he strikes out Fukudome, his 8th strikeout of the night. And Kansas City in control 5-1. Well, the Royals leading it tonight 5-1. Luke Hoshaver pats on the back from his manager Ned Yost. Went 8 innings. His night is over. 1 unearned run, the only tally for the Tribe tonight.
Well, there comes pitching go. Yeah, they got to be pleased with the way he threw the ball tonight. No question about it. Give him 8 innings, 116, 17 pitches. Indians will turn it over to Chad Durbin. Josh Judy went in and gave up a hit and had a strikeout.
Eric Hosmer leading off and sends that Chad Durbin offering high into the air in right field. Fukudome makes the catch, 1 down. Tonight's box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. Billy Butler had a 2-out RBI double in the 5th. Giovitello the solo homer in the 6th. Frank Gore had the 2-out 2-run double in the 1st, and Gordon with the RBI fielder's choice. And Frank Gore with a base hit, his 2nd hit of the night.
Goes right back up the middle. That ball had a little two-seamer coming back over the plate, and he just hits it right back up the middle. 8 hits now for the Royals. 2 by Jeff Francoeur.
Johnny Giovitello with a homer to left his last time up in the 6th. Runner goes. No, Frank Gore put the brakes on. He took 3 big strides towards second base and then maybe just didn't like the jump.
Well, let's look. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're right. He stopped.
Popped up. Foul ground. Maybe. Hanahan. No. Can't get to it. It's a strikeout. 2 down. And it brings up Mike Moustakas. Ball 1 a little bit too high. Took off on him. Three balls, no strikes. Big hopper to second base. And Phelps throws him out. We'll go to the ninth. 5-1 Kansas City. comes on now to finish things up for Kansas City. And we'll see if the Indians can put together a rally and maybe force Kansas City to have to get their closer up. It'll be Santana, Tomey, and Hanahan for the Indians here in the 9th. Carlos Santana 0 for 2. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly way back in the first. The only run tonight for the Indians. Now the 1-0 pitch. And Santana fouls it back. It's 1-1. In pro sports, there are no excuses when it comes to injuries. Everybody has to deal with them. Everybody has to try and play through them. But for the Indians tonight, you look at their starting lineup, and there are 5 players in their starting lineup. This is game 136. 5 who have played in fewer than 50 games. Ezequiel Carrera, this is his 48th. This is Jason Donald's 21st, Chisenhall's 44th, Cord Phelps' 27th, and Jared Head's 7th game. You're in a pennant race, and you're trying to stay with the leaders, and it doesn't matter who the opponent is. When you've got that many young guys and that many guys who just haven't played a lot, that's asking a lot of your team.
Yeah, it is. There's no question.
Santana fouls it out of play. Not to mention, Rick, Kosuke Fukudome, Carlos Santana, Jim Tomey, and Jack Hanahan, who's played just over 100 games, the pressure they must feel with that many young guys around them to try to maybe overdo it a little bit or try to carry the load offensively.
Yeah, and that's why they have 3 hits.
And hey, take nothing away from Luke Hochshaver. He pitched a tremendous game tonight. I mean, he did. Now the set, nope. Time call to Santana, steps away. And a 3-2. He rockets one deep to center, but back goes Cabrera. And he'll make the grab. 1 away. Stay tuned for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. Conrad's home of the lowest everyday tire price guaranteed. We'll look back at tonight's ball game afterwards, put a big bow on it, wrap it up, and look forward to the series finale tomorrow afternoon. It comes your way at 2 o'clock here on Sports Time Ohio tomorrow, as the Indians will send Genmar Gomez against Jeff Francis, and then the Indians come right back home for a brief 3-game homestand against the Tigers. And the way it's shaping up, it's coming down to a big must-win series for the Indians against Detroit. Labor Day, Tuesday and Wednesday at Progressive Field. Tomey went around 0-2. Boy, it's been a rough night for Jim. He has struck out all 3 times. Greg Holland with the 0-2, wants it up high. He didn't. He missed his target by a bunch, but he's out of the strike zone with it. Strikes him out. 2 down.
Jack Hanahan 1 for 3 with a double. And he takes a strike. With big flashes of lightning off in the distance. And a stormy night here in Kansas City. And the 0-1 pitch. Fouled out of play. The night began with the Indians scoring first. But the Royals came right back with 2 in the bottom of the first. Then we went into a rain delay. And during that rain delay, Detroit rallied with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th to beat Chicago at home. And the Indians have never recovered. Hanahan taps one up the middle. Gets, throws him out. And the game is over. Kansas City wins it tonight by a final score of 5-1 to even the series at a game apiece. Winner is Luke Hochevar. He's 10-10. Loser is David Huff. He drops to 2-3. With the win, Kansas City is 58-82. The Indians drop to 69-67. More importantly, they fall now 6.5 games in back of front-running Detroit in the AL Central. Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeast Ohio.
Well, let's go back to that first inning, and after the Indians did get on the board, you can see Frank Coor hit a good breaking ball off the plate, drove it to right field, 2 runners aboard. It was a big 2-out base hit. Kansas City comes back and takes the lead, and they never looked back after that for Frank Coor, his 73rd, 74th RBI. That is going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
So the series even at a game apiece, and the season series still favored heavily on the Indian side. They've won 11 and now lost 6 against the Royals. But it all comes down to tomorrow now for the Indians.